same wickedness that's always been about, man.
That's even when you go into dealing with that, what you said. That's why you got the two, basically you got the two-party system, the political parties. You have, the quote-unquote Democrats, liberals. You have the right, you have the conservatives and Republicans and whatnot. The reason why that's in place is solely so they can control the narrative. Because then, we're going to give you a piece of what you want and a piece of what you don't care. But really, the main ideal they feed into that really works for the system is liberal. They're both doing the same thing, but the liberal is more digestible, basically. Liberal armor thing. A lot of people will be like, well, I don't agree with that. But it basically is a guise under where everyone can come together and have a uniform ideal. But really, all is part, there's two horns of the same beast. That's it. It's still taken. You're still participating in the same indoctrination of the beast. You got anything?
Yeah. Revelation 13 and in verse 12 it says, "And he exerciseth all power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed." Yeah, so they're all worshipping that same ideology. And it's funny as well, you go back to ancient Rome, all these ideologies that are basically being pushed out now, they were pushed out then, they factor in to why Rome fell. All this complete confusion, throwing out the order of like a woman and a man, accepting all kinds of sexual deviance. These things, when you accept all these things, your society starts to crumble, man. It's a mess. Like I mentioned earlier, it's like the bedrock of a society is that family unit. So if you've thrown that out, you've thrown that to the dogs, then there's no order left. Everything's a mess. And that's what is being realized, man. Because people seem to think, because it's even with let me switch to what I was gonna read.
Quickly say the point. Now the family, the traditional role of a family in the nation or society, of basically being a man and a woman and the children or whatever, it's been extended to an enterprise of employment. So it's kind of like a throwback to slavery. It's like you're indebted to your employer. It basically is like a slave master, not a slave, like a lieutenant or commander in some sense, underneath this beast system. And basically that's how the family functions. And then you now have to walk in line with the doctrine of the masses. And it's funny because the system all else. Yeah. And it was funny because it's like men right now in terms of how with this Sarah Everard situation, the way they feel it and dealing with it, I can understand how so-called white men, Edomites, felt when the whole BLM shit come out, man. They didn't know what the fuck to say. They're just like shit. And if they did speak out of truth, out of lies, then the basic, the government, legally agitated, what's his name, Nancy Nicholas, actor, he basically came out and made a tweet saying that all men are going to be scumbags for the moment so that they can, until we identify the few, I'm with it, so be it. Nigga, I remember a guy from the comment board on Instagram was looking at the post. You have people saying, like, speak for yourself, big man. And they were saying, saying, simping out all the time, hi, just pick me, and then they're just sending for it. Because basically it's like, what kind of foolishness are you coming with? We had the women buying into it, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, this is my TV husband. But this plays on the minds of the people. I'm getting lost in the whole shit.
Yeah, well, the main point is this yet another part of the chaos, man. It's
Yeah.
a schism. It's a line by which to create contention, man, and issues for people to focus on. That basically align them to what's actually going down.
And to police the masses all at once, basically.
Because-
Govern them into one thing.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter what the line of the law. First thing is anyway, whenever you get a policy getting put through, that shit, no one in the fucking like free people in the general public will actually read what's in the lines of the law. But then what if it just has a good selling point? Just like they say, okay, the Women's Safety Act 2021. Everyone's gonna be cheering for it. Why? Because everyone's hearts and minds have been grabbed by Esau already. Because that's as far as it's not like this guy posting on Instagram. Any form of engagement with the narrative is people are just gonna be into it. Because the narrative, man. It's like who the fuck gives a shit about BLM right now? No one gives a fuck about no goddamn BLM. No one's who's posting black squares on their what do you call it, man? It's just like when Pride Month comes around, then everyone's posting everything becomes a rainbow. Everyone's selling the exact same product with a rainbow on it. Because it's about money. It's just about the narrative. And the thing
That feeds into capitalism.
yeah,
which is part of this.
yeah. Because it's to the benefit of the elites first and foremost. The elites are the ones who are gaining from it, which is why any level of engagement, it's not harming them. But then it's for the general public, their minds are just being zapped. Because the thing is the law will come through, and then it's whatever's in it is going to be for the New World Order, for the New World Order's gain, man, for the elites' gain through that. But then people are going to be thinking it's for their benefit, and that's the mindset that they're fostering. Getting everyone invested, because that's what it is. It's everyone basically wandering after the beast, man, like admiring everything that anything that's pushed out by the elites of Esau is accepted with open arms. It's even like you have to consider when Boris got in office in the UK, being in London, the vast majority of people in London as well that are working around, they're all like Labour voters, especially with Jake. Jake is vested in the Labour Party. But then what? Everyone was like, oh, blah, 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 Boris, he's shit. He's going to do a shit job. He's a waste man. I didn't vote for him. Hashtag not my prime minister. Okay, all that shit. As soon as the pandemic kicked in, everyone was any line or letter of what was pushed out by Boris Johnson's government, even when they were contradictory, they all went and lived by it. Because why? They want that security, that safety. Their mindsets were built to where they can only rely on this system. Which is, hey, that's how the elites desire. Let me read this. Job 20 and 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Yeah, the triumphing of Esau's system, all this that you see is transitory, and that's what people don't really realize. That's what, especially Jake in the society, this Western world, they don't see, especially because they basically came from that slavery mindset, man. They're basically invested in this system, even though it's basically been to their destruction from the whole time it's been around. But what they're still invested. They're still basically desiring it to go on. And that's the same thing going back to ancient Rome, man. Ancient Greek, you had those jakes that went off. They became uncircumcised again, sewed some fucking fresh foreskin on, and then basically took up the custom of the heathen, man. Exercised them butt-ass naked and all that. Because why? They're looking at this place like it's gonna go on forever. That's why, and that's another part of that is why Jacob, especially these black women, there's that special relation. You know, they speak about Britain and America have that special relationship. Well, even the serpent have that special relationship, man. So-called black woman, the so-called white man, they have a special relationship. They're basically working in tandem, man. That's why you see whenever they're talking about so-called black issues. I can't remember if it was Black History Month. Oh no, I think it was International Women's Day. one of them. I don't know, who gives a fuck? There was this little video that was made of just like, oh, just highlighting black women in positions of power and promoting all that. But then it's what all you're doing, like, as far as with, okay, so I've never quite understood what the desire is for these women to get into these positions of power. They seem to just want to be like CEOs and blah blah blah, and have high, up in the enterprise. It's cool, but then what? It's all that you've gained in that situation. It's just sustaining and increasing basically the reach and power of Esau's rulership. That's all that's been gained. All that's been gained is basically making the beast, promoting the beast system, man. A system which is not, don't give a fuck about you. But hey, that's it, man. They're thinking this is gonna be it. I'm basically gonna play ball.
Well, that's a woman's desire, man. They're built to be servants.
Job, back in verse 6. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? So yeah, these things are going to come to an end. And that's the mindset, that's what being a visionary, seeing this place coming to an end. Because by and large, people aren't looking for the end of, they're not looking for the end of Britain, they're looking for the end of America, they're not looking for the end of the EU. People are looking to have a real good time. People enjoy it. People's minds have been, what's the word? They've been programmed, so they enjoy being able to slave away for 48 odd weeks of the year. Then they get to do a little 2 weeks there, a little 2 weeks there, and then that's it. Now imagine even that level of ease has been taken away. That level of ease is now gone. Throughout the course of the last year, people might have been able to sneak in a cheeky long weekend during like summertime, but that shit was expensive as fuck. And it was only for certain seasons. A lot of places were still locked down. But now it's people have been going cold turkey for a while. That's why people are already booking their summer holidays in June, just based on a plan, just based on like an outline of, well, this is what we're hoping to do. Because everyone wants to basically go back to just that little string of pleasure they were able to have. So that's why as that gets further and further away, it's going to be easier to basically get people to play ball. It says what? He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. Yeah, that's all Esau's kingdom. All this has been done. That's going to be chased away. When you deal with things, how it went down in the angel world, it's basically we're going to be operating under the law in the kingdom of heaven. So this whole system, this is going to be a mess. Women ain't just going to be running around. It's kind of a madness that you can just have women running around in like skin tight clothing, just up and down the street in broad daylight. But it's just, you consider that could be someone's wife, and then you're going off without even you ain't even able to have an opportunity to factor into it, man. You bet it's the right thing taken away from you by Esau. Esau set a system up where it's completely unlawful from the ground up. And that's why it's all these things are going to go back into order. Why? Because from that complete mess, it's like you have adultery is an issue. That's something that's built upon by society. You have a lot of it is you have a situation of husband and wife both working, then the wife might start a thing with some geezer at work.
Or work husband, work wife. That's why you have people that form relationships akin to, a husband and wife, but they're actually in a relationship back at home. Well, why is that? Spend about, let's say, 35 hours a week, or 37.5 hours a week in an office environment, or wherever form of environment with them. And then you go from work, drinks, and all that type of stuff. Guess what? You form a relationship. And That's why you have adultery, right? And different things. Because, hey, a man that has in a relationship with a woman, you might work with that woman, and you form a relationship greater than the guy that's in a relationship with her. She forms a level of comfort around you. Because you go through different things within that setting of work and all that type of stuff. Yeah, Isaiah 1:3, it says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know, my people does not consider. Our sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord Yahweh, they have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They have gone away backward, right? And that's basically talking about the children of Israel, 12 tribes, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They're running, they're criminal out here, man. And that's why, like I read in the verse 3, it said ox knife owner, ass master crib. Basically, these doleful creatures, right, they actually don't understand who their leader is. But Israel has no idea. And that's why they're running from, I believe it's the scripture you said it's stating right now. They run from hill to hill, or mountain to hill, however the saying goes, and they're basically chasing after various different powers and leaders. But they basically don't have no love for them. They try to go by the lifestyle like that.
Ecclesiastes, no, Sirach 9 and 8, no, and 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. Yeah, there's a reason it's in the scriptures. And it's what you can observe it in the modern day, man. Right now, that's a situation which is completely normal, man. That happens regularly, where you'll just have, both the man and the woman working, then, like the brother said, work drinks, whatever. Then these situations occur, and that's goes back to the fault lies with Esau, going back to the 60s, women sleeping, getting women into the workplace. Because that is another part of what completely skewered the basically the home, the family unit, man. Because that family unit's just been in tatters since. And it's what these laws exist for a reason, man. Because even what it says, I think I'll get your research.
Alright, this is Lamentations 1:1. The point is in verse 2. How doth the sea sit solitary that was full of people? How was she become as a widow? She that was great among the nations and a princess among the provinces. How was she become tributary? She weepeth sore in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks. And it's the point, among all her lovers, she hath none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They have become her enemies. So all these various different nations that you said, this nation, that nation, basically what Israel came to know was that they had no care for you, no interest. You followed after their ways and took on their customs. But guess what? They had no care. They basically reveled in the fact that, look, we got them underneath us, basically. What you got? And that's really what they're doing, Jake is doing today. That's why even with this whole Meghan Markle thing that happened, the Duke and Duchess and Sussex, you got, and it's annoying me, it's like, bro, the woman wanting to be bedwench, basically. Whether or not she's a Jake or Harry's a Jake, let's deal with it on a surface level. Her hair is thick and bushy. She got type, I don't even know what the types are of hair, but she got the most thickest, primal, I don't know if I want to use primal, primitive, and that's in a good way. A primitive, like the primary coarseness of hair. But guess what? She gets a Brazilian blowout to make her hair look like a white woman. I didn't even know she had an afro like that, man. But why did she do that? Because she was just vying for social acceptance among Esau, right? Among so-called white people. So she made her bet. She wanted to be a Disney princess. Hey, that's why she said, when she was doing the Oprah interview, she said that, you know, it's kind of like, I'm kind of like Ariel, you know, like the mermaid. Bitch, shut the fuck up, man. You're from America, man. You're an actress. Get that in your head, man. She's that's that feminine bullshit she's feeding into, man. Then in reality, that royal family don't give a flying fuck about you, alright? And it makes sense because they're establishing their rulership. This is their time. Why should they care about you? Why should they let you come up in their family? Of course. But you've basically fed into the BS that's been proliferated all over the earth and believe that you have a sense of entitlement within the royalty of this world. But the point being is that thy lovers have deceived thee. You've been deceived. Jake on every level. You Jake try and get up in there in the business world or wherever. They're going to show you that they don't give a flying fuck about it.
Proverbs 9. We start from verse 13. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. For she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city, to call passengers who go right on their ways. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. And as for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant.
And that's, you have to stop truth for that shit. That's why they fall into adultery, man. Because why? The woman sells it, and that's why even niggas got a term amongst them now. I'm thinking of Dr. Dre. But it's a well-known thing. It's like, well, you know, the game's a game. You know, your bitch chose me. She was choosing. No, nigga, no. You're meant to say, listen, I don't want to deal with you. You got a boyfriend, you got a man. You do that to a woman, watch how infuriated she'll feel because of her sense of entitlement. As to, I'm going to give you this box and you're going to take it.
Yeah, by and large, anyways, well, okay, let me read. So stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. So yeah, with that whole mindset, that whole approach, that's the way of death, man. The way it only leads to your destruction. That's the thing with all the things, all the behaviors Esau's promoted. They go against the scriptures. They basically promote the ways of death, man. It's what the truth, the scriptures. That's where life lies. So that's why it's as far as even the woman's counted as foolish, man. Because what she's doing is leading to her own destruction. Eve. But hey, that's how this the current, you know, Prince society, everything's promoted, man. And even with like adultery, with essentially all forms of wickedness, there's no judgment for it, man. But what it's the law's basically gonna catch you slipping, man. And that's really what it comes down to. It comes down to the law's gonna be the one who's basically gonna pass judgment upon you. If you're really out here, that's the thing. It's with Jake. These things with integrity is something that's done, basically, essentially when no one else is watching. When it's just between you and the Lord, the decisions you make. Because what you can, that's the thing. It says stolen waters are sweet, bread eaten in secret is pleasant. This is something you can do in private, and then no one will be able to know you and basically judge you for it. But what the Lord's going to catch you, man. The angels are watching. And that's what people don't realize, man. All these current crimes, all these things that people think they're getting away with, it's not. In the long run, you're gonna get caught slipping, man. And that's really it. It's being made clear. Because it's the time of judgment, man. People are getting messed up. Even the whole situation with this girl getting snatched up. That's paying the cost of doing business with basically the feminist doctrine. Because you're meant to be able to go out and do whatever the hell you want. Well, then you're then at the mercy of, well, you better have a gun or a knife or something to defend yourself.
That encourages a masculine energy.
Yeah.
Like you said, you better have a gun, you better. Like, because put some pounds of muscle. Learn how to fight. I'm just using it as what do you call it? Because even with that, they said like the average dude. I think they did just a survey as far as strength-wise. Like the average guy was essentially still above the level of like the women that train the hardest. And it's really as far as only reason it runs is because in the present society you've got men that are way below par. Below par, above par. They're not able to meet our level of performance. A lot of them have jobs where they sit around, they don't do no exercise, they walk around. Well, but then really it's like how many men are really out here knocking a woman's block off? Like a lot of them
are saying, oh, what do you mean?
I just mean in the sense like there's more of an accommodation to women.
Oh yes. Generally, well, even if you go to was it first ever 5 or 6, the one where the Rover Girl basically breaks up that on a women's struggle. Even from back then, the king was allowing his not even his wife, but even just mistress, just a concubine, basically, slapping and disrespecting. Why? Men generally are just you don't really want to uppercut your woman just cause. By and large, that's not really what men really want to do with women. Most men, it says what a husband thinks how he may please his wife. That's generally the sentiment. But it's only correction. It's like with kids. Generally with your kids, you don't really want to roundhouse kick your kids for no reason. But you utilize the rod of correction when they're going off. So that's why it's even with women saying like, oh, interesting side. Even in this society, once women able to do whatever the hell they want, you got hella videos of like women just slapping up men and men doing nothing. And the thing is whenever if the guy does knock a block off, people generally be like, well, she earned it. But not every guy does it.
They accommodate women in any even like, for example, Megan Thee Stallion, what happened with Tory Lanez. I heard it's like, gangsters and shit saying, oh, she could, that don't mean nothing. She's a woman. She can snitch, basically. So, but in the rules of the street, for example, it's the same with the rules. It's the same rules that apply for the rules of engagement in warfare. That if you have something, she will then become a liability. She's opening her mouth and putting your life in danger. But guess what? Because she's a woman, there's an accommodation to that. So that's the only reason why, as it tells you in the prophecy of Jeremiah, a woman shall compass a man. That's the only reason why this shit out here can fly. Because we're in a time of a prophetic event whereby women have that liberty to do such things.
It's again an example of why you don't let it run.
Because all it's leading to right now is basically an example being played out by based upon the word of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, right? That more or less it's all letting even it will show it that this whole thing that's happening now is just driving more so policies being established and a woman can pass the man. You know, I'm, you know, what it
Jump back in, yeah, I'll jump back in Job 20. It says, his children, verse 10, his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hand shall restore their goods. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth. Yeah, this the thing is as far as like we're going into, every facet of the society is based around wickedness, promoting it, aggrandizing it, and putting it and signal boosting it as far as possible, man. Because why? That's Esau's spirit. That's his nature, man. Just like from Cain to Esau, man gets down the same way, man. Man didn't learn the lesson. If thou doest well, won't you be rewarded? But what? Esau don't do well, man. Esau don't know how to how to basically be righteous. That's why he's basically that vessel unto wrath that's being suffered. It says verse 13, though he spare and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat in his bowels is turned, it is the gall of ass within him. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of ass, and the viper's tongue shall stay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. Yeah, all this reward, even that fatness of the earth, the blessing that was given unto Esau, man, they will get by the sword. That's all gonna come to an end. And that's what we're seeing. The thing is, other scripture I was gonna get. Actually, I'll jump.
I think the point was just if you do
You're seeing now is all that so-called glory, all that reverence that the West was getting. That's been chipped away from like the 70s, really. Because for a little while, Esau could do no wrong. Even though when you look in retrospect, it's really like Vietnam, where the symbol of America, like basically people started to realize America was essentially just basically just running around colonizing in the same spirit, man, moving in the same way, just reaping all resources onto himself, man. That greed. Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks,